So hello again, everyone. I just wanted to make a last quick video on the piston that you joined me on, start to finish build. There is, I kind of did not show the whole painting process because just quite frankly, you know, you got to paint it and let it dry and scuff it and paint it and let it dry, and there's just a lot, too much, frankly, of downtime for the video to show, and the video clips would have been super short. So I just finished it up, and I'll do an overview of the paint process, and I'll when I'm done with this uploading it, I'll make a post with some pictures, progress pictures of the paint, so you can see how that all went. But kind of as a time filler, I'll throw in some other stuff that I kind of do around here at Wicked Iron Creations. Again, if you've watched this all the way to this point, through all the super exciting process videos and all that kind of stuff, I do appreciate you for that. And by all means, please do me a solid and hit that like button, follow button, share it, make some comments, ask some questions. Again, I will respond to all the comments and answer all the questions best of my ability. Anybody out there who's got any pointers, tips of advice, I'll take those also. I don't think there's any real perfect way to do this. It's just kind of, there's no standard SOP of how to do this. So if anybody's got a process that they saw that I did that you're like, you could probably do it better and make it look cleaner if you did this, I'm all ears. But just kind of a couple of little things. I'll go ahead and flip you around here, I think. Well, we'll do that. Working on currently a late model Hemi valve cover that I'm going to make a keychain holder out of. And then, this is out of an old Model T rim. Turned it into a light. Kind of cool old light. Some old license plates that were specific to me. Light, pull chain there. So that's kind of cool. I got another one of those to make. That one I'm going to keep for myself, but I do have another one of those to make, and I will post that for sale once I get it done on my Etsy account and Instagram and yada yada yada. And here is some other piston work that I've done. Little Viking guy, handmade Mjolnir hammer for it. Little Viking dude, little steampunk lamp made out of an old whiskey bottle. Another gladiator style helmet. And if you recall in some of my previous videos, I was like, sometimes, bleeders or runners, you can either cover them up or turn them into a part of the piece. Well, one or two of these were bleeders that I got a little too aggressive with, so I couldn't cover them up, so I turned them into battle scars. So that's why I say, if you have a mistake, don't necessarily worry about the mistake, because you can always turn the mistake into a part of the creation. And then, Punisher face, highly polished there. And then little valve cover, desk lamp made out of some random car parts pieces. I've got a Bluetooth light bulb under it. When it's dark out, it really shows. And then you know, some other stuff, valve cover, keychain holders, slash kind of coat rack type things. And as you can see, I got various makes and models. I've got Chevy, Ford, Jaguar even, Mercedes-Benz. This is kind of cool, a little bulky. It's going to take a specific person to want that, but this can serve as like a coat rack and then a little keychain loop. Again, all this stuff is for sale either through my Instagram, Wicked Iron Creations, or Etsy. You can go on Etsy. Some of this stuff ain't on there yet. I got to get it on there still, but you can DM me through Instagram and whatnot. Made a little Edison lamp. Let me see. Kind of figure out how this is all working here. Edison lamp. Made out of a 2-barrel carburetor. Kind of cool. Got a little antique-ish looking power cord, so it doesn't look super out of place. But pretty excited about that. That looks kind of cool. And then just some stuff, some other pistons that I've made. This one here I've made for NHRA Top Fuel dragster personality Ida Zetterstrom. This was a piston and rod combo out of her personal car, signifying her very first win. So her team reached out to me and wanted me to make a piston for her. I'm going to present that to her in late October at the Vegas NHRA races. Just another one that I made. And then this is another one of my kids' pistons out of my Effie. Same logo at the top there. The stand design I did the same on all these. The Ford emblem and the dad's Effie is the same on all of them. The only thing is, excuse me, I just changed the face up on them all a little bit. Another valve cover, keychain holder, and then, you know, I make little key rings, stuff like that. And then this is the one we just finished, but I'll show that here in a second. Also made piston, and this is out of Cruz Pedregon's car, NHRA Top Fuel funny car driver, former world champion. This has got the Vegas, that keeps spinning on me, but the Vegas Nationals for last year, and twisted up a snap-on wrench. Spin it back around so you can see it. And then twisted up a snap-on wrench and threw a socket in there and welded it all together. And then there's the face for that guy, etched in Pedregon's team logo into that. That came out super cool. This is the second of 3 pistons I made out of my Effie. Again, same logo, same thing on the back, different face. You know, the possibilities are endless for these creations. It's just your imagination. You can do everything that you want. And this one's probably my favorite one. It's my ugliest one, but it's my first one. This is the very first one that I ever made. So if any of you decide that you want to try this and get into it, and you turn out one that looks like this or worse or even a little better, don't look at something like that and compare it to that and go, well, I suck at this, I can never do it. Because this is what my first one looked like, and this is kind of the stuff that I'm turning out today. And I've only been doing this about 1.5 years, so it doesn't, you know, just keep plugging away at it a little bit, and just keep working at it, you know, and eventually you'll get it. You'll find your groove. You'll find the design flair that works for you, that you like, and then, yeah, just keep going at it. And then, so without further ado, let's go to the one that you guys watch me build start to finish ish. So there's same logo. See how the swirls and the clear coat brought out all that that in and out color, and just looks awesome. Looks really awesome. And then the face, you know, once you put clear coat to it, it didn't look as dark when I had just paint to it, but then when you throw clear coat to it, it really sings a little bit more, And this is why I like painting them. Again, I've mentioned that I don't really see a lot of guys painting them, but this is why I paint them, because I think it adds character, it adds depth, it adds a little quality. It even highlights your mistakes, but the mistakes become a part of the piston. So, stand is the same. I still got to find some bolts. I didn't have enough long, like 6-inch bolts to run through these. Welding them together, it's keeping it all together, but the bolts definitely look better. So I gotta source some bolts and throw those in there just to button these last two up. And then, there's the Ford logo, all done. Kind of turned out pretty neat. Probably the best of the three of the Ford logos that I did, quite frankly. But Dad's Effie, that'll be something for the kids to, remember me by someday, or whatever. They'll be able to look back and say, yeah, that come out of Dad's old truck, and hopefully it'll make them smile someday or whatever, But that's about the gist of it. And so basically, when I went into painting this, kind of the overview on the paint is, you paint in all the inlaid stuff first, and then you sand off and get rid of the paint on the higher profiles that you don't want to see. And then as soon as you paint, just run it around with some acetone or brake clean on a rag and clean up the stuff like this. And then, and then hand rub out all these areas, just so it doesn't look fully painted. It's got a distressed or antique type look. And then, and then I went back in the last part of the video you saw. I'd kind of screwed up the dad's Effie portion of it. The paint didn't want to set in, so that's when I paused the video, and then I just painted it, and then displayed some patience, let it fully dry and cure, and then sanded it back out. Sometimes it's trial and error. Sometimes it works right out of the gate. Sometimes it doesn't want to. There's no rhyme or reason. I can't figure that out. But I just let it dry all the way to completion, and then sanded the high spots out with some emery cloth, and then taped all this off, right? So the only thing showing was just the oval, and then I painted that in traditional Ford blue, and then immediately pulled the tape right off. As soon as I sprayed it and I liked the blue, I peeled the tape right off of it, so the tape didn't have a chance to stick to any of the existing paint or finish that was on there. And then let that fully dry in, and then I clear coated the whole thing before I did the white. And the reason I did that is because I tried on the first piston I tried doing painting the white in and then clear coating it all in, and it made the white paint, it's an acrylic model paint. I just used a paintbrush and just dabbled it in there, but it made that white paint bleed right out. So then I had to scuff all that off, and then clear coated it, and then come back in after the clear coat was dry and paintbrush and just kind of around it until it's not perfect, but the piston's not perfect. The art, I think, is intended to be a little rough. I mean, if you look at all of these, I think, granted, my opinion is a little biased, but I think all of these look badass, but they're all flawed, they're all imperfect. But I think that's what gives, even the valve covers, it's imperfect, but to me that's what gives it its character. That I don't know, to me it looks good. So And if anybody else feels that way, they'll buy it. So, but and then once I got the white, once I got the white striped in there, then called it a day. It's done. And then I just scribed a little note on the bottom of the piston. It's personal to each one of the kids, so I'll leave that there. But yeah, now I'll give them to them, and they can do what they want with them. And yeah, so give it a try. If you do try your hand at this, or if you've been trying your hand at this, and if I was able to show you some stuff that kind of helped you along the way, gave you some ideas or tips or pointers or whatever, and if you try them and they work, let me know. Drop me a comment, drop me a DM in my Wicked Iron Creations on Instagram. Send me some pictures of stuff. I'd love to see this, the work that you guys are turning out if you take this as like a tutorial and go after it yourself. If you're looking at this simply for entertainment purposes, and or want to see what I kind of do and maybe want to buy something, again, some of the stuff, not everything yet. I'm going to try to get it all on Etsy, but I have an Etsy account, Wicked Iron Creations, Instagram account, Wicked Iron Creations. You can check out some of my other work that's on there that I've made posts about, and you can DM me if there's something particular that you want. Whether I just had a guy that just saw these Dad's Effie's pistons, my Snap-on guy, matter of fact, saw them the other day, and he just inherited his dad's old truck and is going to give me some pistons for him and his two siblings to do the same exact thing with out of an old square body Chevy. So I'll be tackling those here pretty quick. I'll make videos of those as well. You can check those out in progress and whatnot. And but if you have something sentimental like that you want me to do out of something that a dad or grandpa or whatever owned, we can make arrangements for you to send me the stuff, and I can make the carvings out of those. I have a stock of old used pistons, from a variety of equipment, vehicles, machinery, whatever. I've got Caterpillar pistons and pistons out of like water pumps and on and on and on. So anybody wants me to make you anything, just drop me a DM, and we'll talk and go from there. So I hope this series of videos wasn't too terribly boring for you, and I hope you learned something. And again, like, subscribe, follow, share, make comments, make posts, ask questions, and I want to give a shout out to my guy Daniel. If you're watching this, by all means, my guy, leave me a comment here, because as I was doing these videos, I was thinking about Daniel here, and he was like, dude, he goes, you ought to be making YouTube videos on this stuff, start to finish. I'm like, it's going to be super boring, Daniel. He goes, I know, but he goes, literally, I just got done watching an hour-long video of a guy mowing grass, and so he goes, if I can do that, he goes, there'll be people that'll watch this. So I chuckled when I said that. So so there you go, Daniel. These series of videos I'll dedicate to you for spurring me on to do it. So hope you enjoyed them, and stay tuned. Like, follow, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.